What's up, guys? This is Quarter Zip. Welcome back to Hiking to Lose. Today we're doing a little gear review of the Sea to Summit Double Nest Hammock. Hiking to Lose. Quarter Zip. Zip zip. So we're going to be checking out the Sea to Summit Double Nest Hammock. These retail for around $70 after tax. You can probably find them cheaper some places. I picked this one up at an REI garage sale for $30. I had looked at it at one point, but I just wasn't in the market for a hammock, let alone a $70 hammock when I have other gear I needed to buy. But when I saw it more than half off at the garage sale, I said, oh, we'll give it a shot. So the cool thing about this hammock is it's got everything in it you need. It's got straps in there already, everything you need. You don't need to buy carabiners, you don't need to buy suspension straps. It comes with a compression bag. Which is nice, but in reality there's really not much compression left to be had in that hammock, so it's a nice feature, but I don't know if it's really necessary. But it's one of those things that are going to make people want to buy it beforehand. So let's take a look at what we got inside here. Inside you got a bag with your compression straps here, and then we got the hammock in the bag there as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set the camera up, and I'm going to show you setting this up in real time. It's a pretty quick process, and then we'll get in the hammock and talk about how it feels. So here we have the fully set up Sea to Summit Double Nest Hammock. This is a 10-foot hammock. It includes the straps that you're going to need to set it up, the suspension straps. It also comes with a compression bag that the hammock and the straps fit inside of. The cool thing about this hammock is kind of the suspension system. It's something I haven't seen before, and it's this hook suspension system. So if you want to adjust up, it's infinitely adjustable, kind of like a whoopee sling would be, but it's still made out of the strapping. And you just kind of pull it up to adjust up like that, and adjust your hammock up. And if you want to release it, you just simply slide this end through here. Try to do it with one hand. Oh. Make sure your cords are there. Oh, and there it goes. It releases. So it's a pretty quick and simple setup. It makes it really easy to get a proper hang on your hammock. So I'm kind of excited to try this out on trail with this new suspension system, and I like that there's no carabiners needed. There's just a metal hook here at the end. You see that your suspension strap goes through, and then you have these two metal clasps here that are your adjustments. So we're gonna go ahead and get in the hammock here. It's all set up, as you can see. I will say the first time I did sit down on this, I fell on my butt, and what happens is when you set it up, you got to make sure that those metal buckles are facing the right way, and then you get all the slack out of the loops going around the tree. Because if you don't, what happens is those buckles turn and they release themselves and you end up on the ground. It's a super quick setup. I'm actually pretty excited to try this out on a trail. I've been using the Eno Atlas straps as my suspension straps, and I've been using, what is the name of the hammock I've been using? It's can't remember the brand right now. But it's a 10-foot hammock, same as this one. But sometimes when you're setting up, you in between loops is where you want to be set up, and so I kind of like that it has the cinch option for the suspension, so I can put that hammock anywhere I want it. It's one of the things that attracts a lot of people to using whoopee slings and Amsteel, because they're kind of infinitely adjustable. I haven't put the money out for that yet, because what I had was working and I wasn't too terribly concerned about the weight. And I'm going to go ahead and weigh this compared to the hammock I've been using and kind of see which one weighs more or less with the straps, with the carabiners and clips and everything I've been using. It'll be interesting to see. This is weight rated for 400 pounds, so it's going to hold a big boy like me without any problem. I would like an 11-foot hammock, so I would love to see this an 11-foot option. But the hammock I have now is a 10-footer, so I'm not really losing anything at the moment. If I switch, probably get a ridgeline on this guy and get ready to try him out on the trail. But it's a pretty comfortable hang. The material's nice, the craftsmanship's good. If you've bought anything Sea to Summit, you're probably familiar with their craftsmanship. I never have had a problem with a single Sea to Summit product. And so the stitching all looks nice. The webbing looks great. The buckles look like they're pretty sturdy. So I'm excited to really give this a try on trail, sleep in it a couple nights and see how it feels. And I really like the suspension system a lot. It looks like it's going to save a little weight. It's going to save a lot of room. It's not nearly as thick as the Atlas straps are, and so they don't take up as much room. And it does have the compression bag, but like I said, there's really not much room to compress down on the hammock. I'll do a full compression on them when I weigh it, just so you guys can kind of see how far it will compress. But there's a lot of people that don't like to use compression bags in their backpacking. They just kind of push the stuff in there and let it take up the space in the pack, so you don't get these bulks of compression bags in there taking up all this room in your pack. So the compression bag, I don't know if it's a selling point. If you're one of those people, the gadget people that want compression to everything, then that's for you. But the system itself seems pretty good. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see how it functions on trail. So we're going to go ahead and do that weight comparison for you and get you guys out of here for the day. And first, I want to start with a size comparison. And this is actually pretty drastic. I wasn't expecting this much of a comparison. So here we have the Sea to Summit, and there it is in my hand, completely compressed. This is everything I need: straps, hammock, to hang it up and sleep in it the night. This is what I'm currently using: hammock, straps, carabiners, and it takes up quite a bit more room now that we're really looking at them side by side. I mean, the hammock here is about the size, if not smaller, than the straps I'm using. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put these both on the scale and see where we're at weight-wise. All right, so we're going to use this bowl to kind of put everything in. I'm going to go ahead and zero out. So we can see we're zeroed out here. And we're going to start with the Sea to Summit first. And we are at 1 pound, 7.8 ounces, or where are we at? 673 grams. All right. So 1 pound, 7.7 ounces actually. All right. So let's take that guy out of there. So that hammock alone is same as the other hammock, with the carabiners and everything in it. Now I will say there's a structural ridgeline on that one, but it's only 5 feet of paracord, which we'll call that 4 ounces. All right, so we're at 2 pounds, 4.2 ounces. So I mean, it's a little lighter overall. If we take that paracord out of there, we're at 2 pounds compared to 1 pound, 7 ounces. So we got a pretty decent amount of weight difference. We go to grams, we're looking at 1.027 kilograms compared to the 600 grams the other one was. Look at that one more time. back to 0. 674 grams compared to over a kilogram for the other setup. So it is significantly lighter, and it's going to save a significant amount of space. So I feel like this might be my new hammock setup in the near future, depending on how this guy performs. So once again, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in. This was our comparison to the Sea to Summit Double Nest Hammock. We're going to have more of these gear reviews coming up here in the next few weeks. I've got a bunch of new gear I've gotten this past year I haven't got a chance to review or put out there yet, including a tent, some ground pads, and some other stuff. So stay tuned if you're interested in the gear reviews and that kind of stuff, and there'll be more coming your way. Once again, this is Quarter Zip, Hiking to Lose, and we'll see you next time.